So I've talked about a lot of Disney Channel movies here and there. Descendants, Camp Rock, High School Musical. I've been around the block. Every time I do one of these, I get a lot of requests in general, but specifically to do the movie Lemonade Mouth. And whenever people request this movie, it's always like, can you please make a video about Lemonade Mouth? But don't you dare say anything bad about it. So I figured before we really get into the whole winter holiday season and find out what kind of masterpiece Vanessa Hudgens is making this year, I thought it was finally time to check this movie out. So let's take a walk. Lemonade Mouth starts off where any good teen coming of age flick begins, with all the main characters sitting in detention. Because that's what happens when you listen to that rock and roll music and play them video games, I tell you what.
The rules in here are simple. No eating, no drinking, no sleeping, no talking, no tapping, no texting. You break a rule, I add another day of detention. Are we clear? Great.
You know, I always thought it was kind of funny how detention's supposed to be like a punishment or whatever, right? But all those rules the teacher just said there, those were the same rules in my entire high school anyway. I mean, I swear, there's nothing a high school teacher hates more than the sight of kids having fun, you know what I mean? But anyway, so this is where we meet most of the main characters of the movie. We have Stella, Wen, Mo, Charlie, and Olivia. Now, to give us a little backstory on these kids here, we flash back to that morning before all this happened. First, we have Stella, the new kid in school, having just transferred a month into the new year, which, surprise, surprise, she's not too thrilled about.
Stella! But who cares, right?
I care.
Then you and Dad might have thought to ask me before you moved our family halfway across the country.
Wen is this guy who's pretty weirded out by his dad's new girlfriend.
Have fun.
I mean, you know, I'm just saying, right? Charlie is a drummer whose parents really want him to play soccer. Mo is a straight-A good girl who's got a bit of a dark side, like exposing her shoulders. And she's also dating this guy, the pretty boy guitar player in the local rock band, who's definitely one of those kids who still quotes Rick and Morty all day. And this is Olivia, the relatably awkward character who's average in every way, just like me. So this first part of the movie is really just showing us how these kids got detention in the first place. Like Mo gets caught trying to skip class with Pickle Rick over here. Charlie throws a fit because he doesn't want to play soccer and he's very mature about it. Wen calls his teacher stupid. Stella interrupts a school assembly.
All our coaches.
My shirt, my decision. Okay, don't let your school take away your rights. Okay, be heard. Use your voice. Come on! He can't tell you what to wear.
And finally, Olivia gets in trouble for reading a book. Yeah, I have no idea how this school works at all. Anyway, like I said, all these kids get sent to detention, which of course, wouldn't you know, is all the way down in the basement. So we follow Stella as she starts to learn a little more about what kind of school she transferred to.
You lost?
Oh, no, I'm
Detention, huh? Follow me.
What is this place?
This is the underground. Unless you're wearing a varsity jacket or a cheer skirt around here, you're basically
Invisible.
See? You're catching on already. Detention's at the end of the hall.
Now, on the way to detention, all the kids come across this ancient-looking vending machine that only sells lemonade in, mason jars or something. And one by one, they all end up drinking some in this strangely dramatic montage.
Where the stars align and fates collide. This was that moment.
When all the kids realize that drinking lemonade that's probably been sitting there since 1957 might not be the best idea. But also, just a quick aside here, isn't it kind of weird how the teacher said she'll give you more detention if you have any food or drinks or whatever, and then there's a vending machine right outside the door? I mean, that's like the American school system in a nutshell right there. Anyway, so this brings us back to where the movie first started. Now, it turns out the teacher in charge of detention is actually the school's music teacher. And she's not too happy about how the principal treats everyone who doesn't like kicking balls around, you know what I'm saying?
Rather than let you twiddle your little thumbs for the next hour, we are going to put those thumbs to use. We're gonna unpack and we're gonna turn this storage room into a music room. We might as well make the best of it, right? We've been banished to the basement.
But anyway, so she tells the kids to clean the room up while she's gone and storms off to go do something. Now, as per usual with these kinds of movies, what at first seems like a bunch of random noises like water dripping, finger tapping, or me crying in the corner because I tried to say hi to the girl I had a crush on and all that came out was So suddenly all of this turns into music and everyone starts singing and dancing and making this face for some reason. Because like I said, it's one of these movies. But right then, the teacher comes back and sees what these kids have been getting up to.
You, Olivia, you have a beautiful voice. You are meant to play together. Oh, come on. You don't have a moment like that and then just ignore it. Rising star. Rising star.
Rising what? Rising star.
It's a talent competition.
So the teacher's big plan is to have these kids win the Rising Star competition and hopefully change the principal's mind about everything. Now, because they're teenagers, of course, they're all like, whatever, I don't even care, because, I mean, you know, caring about stuff is for losers, right, guys? But anyway, so after this, everyone goes home, and here's where we find out what's really going on with these kids. For example, Stella's parents are both doctors, Charlie lives in the kind of place you'd see in like a YouTuber house tour, Wayne lives on a horse ranch, and he finds out his dad's new girlfriend is a horse girl, which actually kind of explains everything if you think about it. Anyway, I just mean, like, at first I thought this was gonna be one of those movies about high school kids who want to play music, but their parents just don't understand or whatever. But turns out it's really just about a bunch of teenagers who are fed up with their lives being so gosh darn wonderful. Anyway, so the next day, Stella texts everyone, even though they never exchanged phone numbers, and brings them all together again.
I signed us up for Rising Star this morning.
We're not experienced enough.
I also signed us up for Halloween Bash. It's amazing what a principal will agree to if he thinks his new problem student is channeling her energy into something productive. Stella, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I don't want to be some random face in a yearbook.
You know, I get what you're saying, Stella, I really do. But like, there's a whole lot more life after high school, okay? You know how many times I've looked at my yearbook since I graduated? Never! You kidding me? I don't want to remember any of that stuff. Anyway, so after some convincing and tossing a coin for some reason, they all agree to give it a try because, you know, what's the worst that could happen, right? Now, the first big performance they're getting ready for is the Halloween Bash. But see, here's the thing. Mo's boyfriend's band is also playing that night, and he's not too happy about it.
So, you know that new girl, Stella? She has some band, and Miss Resnick is in on it. This so-called band has half our stage time now. It's nuts.
It's me.
What?
I'm in the band.
You could play backup guitar for me or something, but come on, joining the band is taking half our night from us? What's up with that? I mean, I really don't want this to come between us.
I just love how he says that, like, the best thing Mo could ever accomplish is dating him. But anyway, so shockingly, he continues to behave with the maturity of a guy who pops all of his collars, and Mo isn't sure what to do. Although, I mean, I'm pretty sure the answer is just to date anyone else, but hey, what do I know?
If a guy doesn't call for a few days, should the girl worry? Do guys do that? You're a guy, right? You're not like a guy.
Wow.
No, I just mean like, you're my friend.
You're my friend. You're my friend.
Now, right after this, one of the other guys in the same band as Mo's boyfriend just kind of starts causing trouble for like no reason. One thing leads to another, and Stella ends up spitting some of that radioactive lemonade all over the guy, and things get pretty intense.
Whoa, break it up here, break it up. What is going on here?
I went to go get a Turbo Blast, and they just start threatening me. And next thing you know, it's Lemonade Mouth over here spits all over me.
And that is how we got our band name.
Oh, it's called Lemonade Mouth because they're all drinking lemonade. I mean, I knew that. I didn't just figure it out right now. What are you talking about? Now, after this, there's this little scene of Mo walking into the weight room at school, and she finds out why her boyfriend's been ignoring her all this time. Which, like, yeah, that kind of sucks, but I mean, he's got one of those haircuts and he rolls up his jacket sleeves, so you know what you signed up for, Mo. Anyway, so finally, it's the night of the Halloween Bash, and everyone's excited and nervous and, you know, all those emotions you have when you're young and your life is still worth living. So Lemonade Mouth starts playing their show. And of course, Stella just can't help herself, and she starts throwing lemonade around and goes on this long tirade about a bunch of random stuff. And would you believe the principal's not a real big fan of this?
Completely disruptive.
We just spoke our minds, and Principal Brennigan, you shut us down.
Because the decisions I make are for the good of this school. Lemonade Mouth is finished. You will not use the music room. You will not use the instruments. If I hear so much as a hum coming from the locker room showers.
With all due respect, which is none by the way, but still, quick question. Why exactly would you be listening to us take showers? Now, with the band being shut down by the principal, they were all just gonna give up and go their separate ways or whatever. But turns out being barred from playing at the school really only makes them more popular in punk rock anyway, so good job, Principal Dum Dum. So they keep on playing together and become bestest friends, and their band keeps getting more and more popular, and just everything's looking pretty great. Now, one day, Mo is out walking around somewhere, and guess who decides to show up?
Oh, come on, Mo. Can we please just talk? Look, Mo, I made a mistake.
I'm not the same girl I was 2 months ago. Me, my music, we're a package deal now.
Okay, I know. Just, can you forgive me?
Okay, hold on a second, Mr. Chin and Jawline. Did you think you could just show up and be like, oh, hey, so remember when me and my friends tried to sabotage your whole life? Yeah, well, now that you're more popular, I'm really sorry I picked the wrong girl. I mean, come on, Mo's not gonna fall for that.
Can you forgive me?
Of course I can.
What?
It doesn't change anything between us. It's gonna take a lot more than sorry to fix this.
Oh, okay. You got me going there for a second, Mo. Now, skipping ahead a little bit, finally we get to the day before the big music competition. You know, the one they talked about back at the beginning of the movie?
Rising star!
Rising what?
Rising star.
And suddenly, just out of nowhere, everything starts going wrong. Mo just gets like really sick, and Charlie, being the genius that he is, decides that this would be the perfect time to start sharing some feelings.
For a long time, I wanted to tell you, just, you know, you were with Scott, and then we became friends. I like you, Mo. There, I said it.
But of course, she's just like, I just want to be friends. And can we please not do this right now? And then Charlie, in his infinite wisdom, just kind of freaks out like, oh yeah, well, your songs are stupid anyway. And what kind of name is Mo? Huh? What, did your parents name you after Mo Tibbs from Smart Guy or something? And then Wen hurts his eye, Olivia loses her voice. It's just a whole to-do. And everyone's ready to give up and quit because, like, what's even the point anyway? You know what I mean?
What's to talk about? Okay, we can't play, so we're out. No, maybe this is a sign. Maybe it's time to call it quits.
But after singing one more song together, they all talk it out and have one of those kumbaya moments, you know, where they realize that the real music was friendship all along. So everything's looking pretty great until the next day at the big Rising Star competition.
Trying hard to fight these tears. I'm crazy worried.
So yeah, they completely lose the competition, but Mo's boyfriend kinda sorta redeems himself by leaving his band to try and save Mo and friends.
Okay, where are you going?
They need help, man.
No, you do that, man, and you're out of the band for good.
I'll find another band.
Doesn't really help at all, but hey, good try. And finally, in the end, he and Mo get back together. Olivia and Wen are also kind of a thing now, I guess. Charlie realizes that being a musician is kryptonite for like 90% of girls under 25, and Stella meets the guy in charge of Mel's Lemonade. You know, as someone who had like no friends in middle school and high school and pretty much stayed home every weekend, I've seen a lot of Disney Channel movies. This might be one of the best. I mean, a lot of Disney Channel movies have this like obsession with making the dumbest jokes and just forcing this bizarre sense of humor into everything.
Amazeballs!
But she goes spraying Draken from the joint.
No big. You've captured that dude more times than I tripped over my own shoelace.
Like, a lot of their movies are about high school students in their mid to late teens, but they all act like they're 12 for some reason. Now, Lemonade Mouth, however, is actually quite watchable. I mean, to be fair, the story's kinda dumb, especially in the first half, where the main antagonist is the principal who hates music and loves sports. Or the fact that 3 out of 5 of these kids almost have the exact same backstory. But other than that, I actually thought it was pretty good. It's a simple movie to be sure, but I think that's why it works as well as it does. You know, when they lay off the magic powers and time travel and robot boyfriends or whatever, Disney Channel can actually make some pretty alright stuff now and then. Well, the holiday season is quickly approaching. We're in November already, which is unbelievable, by the way. How is it November? How is it almost 2020? It feels like this year was like 10 years long and also like maybe 10 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Like, time's just getting all weird nowadays, I swear. Something's going on. But yeah, so Lemonade Mouth was kind of interesting for me to watch just because it's like, I think it is actually a good, like, just as a movie, it's like pretty good, like just on its own. You know, kind of like High School Musical 2 or Descendants 2. There's a couple of these movies that come out every once in a while on Disney Channel where like it's actually like a legit movie. It's like, you know, this is actually just pretty good on its own. Not just like good for Disney Channel, but like good on its own. But I did think it was kind of weird how like the first half of the movie sets up this whole plot thread about like, oh, we gotta save the school and we gotta save the art program, and then just all of a sudden they're like, nah, who cares? We're just gonna play music for the next 45 minutes. One thing I thought was kind of funny was how like the little differences in their stories make these like huge gaps between them, because like, for example, like Olivia's going through this whole huge like family thing that I didn't really get into it in the video, but if you watch the movie, you don't talk about. She has like this whole thing going on with her family, and then you have Wen, who's like upset because his dad's girlfriend is young. You know, it's like this is not on the same level at all. But like I said in the video, you know, I mean, a lot of Disney Channel movies, they kind of have this reputation, right, of like, oh, it's this cheesy kid show. You know, of course it's gonna be dumb and cheesy. But like once in a while, like with Lemonade Mouth, and there's a couple others throughout the history of Disney Channel that I can remember at least, where they kind of get away from what they were doing. Like, it's not all special effects, it's not all like weird, you know, they try and do things that are kind of more grounded in reality. Like Lemonade Mouth is really just about kids forming a band, doing their thing, and there's nothing like spectacular about it, right? So after coming off of Kim Possible and Descendants, and you know, having a movie like Lemonade Mouth, I think is actually quite nice, you know, for me. But like I said in the video, I mean, it's kind of a dumb movie, but it actually is quite good if those things can exist together. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell so you don't miss any videos from me. Follow my dog Charlie on Instagram, Charlie Meets Pumpkin. Follow me on Twitter. Let me know what's your favorite part of the video, or what movie I should do next, or just say hi, that's fine too. And above all else, everybody have a great day, and I'll see you all next time.